Welcome everyone. Today is, wow, I was like, are my lights on? They are on, and I literally just switched to like brighter bulbs. But anyway, with that being said, I've been kind of communicating in some past videos that my overhead lights right now are not in service, essentially. So I will be, hopefully this weekend I'll have some time to really dig into finding a new solution, just so I can provide you guys some more light. But for now I'm going with natural light, so let's get started. Now today is, if I did not mention, June 24th, 2025. It is Tuesday, which means we will be doing a reading to pick up on spirit guide messages, okay, for the collective. And we're going to do a pick a card style. So I think today will be a fantastic opportunity to tie our spirit guide readings into the powerful energies that are upon us with the new moon in Cancer. And the new moon in Cancer is coming up here at the end of the week. We're going to have some fun today. We'll do a pick a card style, okay? Get some interaction in here, and make both of our energies work, right? But I'll lay out 3 piles, and I'll have one card flipped over, which in my mind will actually be the bottom of the deck message, okay, for each pile. So you won't know what the other 2 cards are, okay? So again, with these kinds of interactional videos and readings, there's of course no right or wrong answer. Just go with what resonates, and just trust your heart space and see what messages come out for you. You're of course more than welcome to watch the messages for all piles, or whatever it is that resonates with you. And I hope everyone is doing well. Again, today is Tuesday, June 24th. I've got about a nice hour and a half before I need to take care of some work responsibilities. But I think we got some pretty good shuffles in there. So what I'm going to do for today's reading, I'm going to pull, I really want to lean into the emotional healing and intuition aspect, again with the new moon being in Cancer. And I did not mention, but this new moon, and I've been saying in the past couple of videos, you can go back and just look at the some of the titles, that literally there's so much energy about new, okay? With the Fool coming out, Sun's coming out, Devil in Reverse coming out. But I mean, ultimately, guys, a lot of us in the collective, there's just a huge message overall about, just letting go, just completely, like really, like we're going into the new earth, and thus, where was I going with that? New experiences, new beginnings, leave past lovers in the past, leave past traumas in the past. Of course, you got to heal from those, right? But anyway, so I want to lean into that emotional healing, into the emotional healing energies. So I'm going to pull 2 cards and then a bottom of the deck card for the 3 piles, right? And then you can intuitively pick the pile that resonates with you. But for the first card, essentially, it's just receiving a message for your emotional healing. And then secondly, a message to strengthen your inner knowing. Okay, and I have this stuff kind of just bulleted here because once I really get into the readings, I need to keep myself on track. So very interesting how that came out. We're totally gonna take it. Okay, well that's the bottom of the deck for that one. So of course that will be, as I said, that will be shown, and then you guys can intuitively, just, it's no big deal. Just choose a card and we'll see what the messages bring. This deck is still really fresh and crispy, so we're just taking our time with the shuffling now, no rush. And I do notice a lot of tarot readers, or not a lot, I would just say I've noticed some comments or communications, regarding like making videos too long, but I'm going to try to just kind of like go with the flow type of thing. And I know I consider myself, a young, fresh reader. Like I still feel like I'm in the energy of, well, I've definitely gotten past. I never thought of it this way. I'm like, I guess I'm at least am I on the lever or well past the lever? Okay, sorry. Side thoughts there, side thoughts. Okay, bottom of the deck we have the page of, not bottom of the deck, because we are doing a pick a pile. And so I want to make sure that I have this in order. And I would say, okay, all right, 3 piles. What you're seeing right here is simply the bottom of the deck messages. So again, don't get too caught up on anything crazy. Just pick a card. We have the 3 of Wands in the. Yeah, we have the 3 of. Why? Please excuse me. The way I picked these up, because I don't want to. Okay. 3 of Wands in the reverse, Justice, Major Arcana number 11, and we have the 10 of Wands. So I'm going to let you guys just kind of have a moment here, really just, again, take a deep breath in and out, and just choose a card that resonates with you, and we'll, take a look at all the messages. So we have 1 Major Arcana here in the middle, surrounded by the 10 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. So 2 Wands, $14 could be of significance to some of you, or even just like 11-11 energy. Anyway, I don't want to get too too off course here, but definitely definitely noticing the Wands here. Okay. All right, everyone, so let's get into it now. Okay, so this is essentially bottom of the deck. So we're going to start, for those of you that chose the 3 of Wands in the reverse. The 3 of Wands, summer is upon us. I get a feeling that you guys may want to really either subconsciously or not, or subconsciously, but it's like either you want to take a vacation, but perhaps you can't take the exact vacation that you so wish, or you haven't taken a vacation in quite some time, but there is a call here to perhaps see what that can look like to you. Is there some way you can alchemize the energies? It's like, I kind of get with like the way the cat's expression is here. Almost like he's kind of tired of playing with the same toy, or like it's it's like now he's like just kind of like biting on the one of the strings almost absent-mindedly, like with their eyes open. I'm almost getting the energy or the feeling of like, for some of us, when we've gotten to the point where, we are, let's say, driving, on the highway, or you're driving for a long period of time, and it's kind of that thing where you kind of drift off because your mind is just literally out in the whatever domain. Like you're physically driving, or you know what I mean, like your body is alert and physically driving the vehicle, but your mind is you know what I mean, like not fully there, right? So that, I hope explained very well is what I'm picking up on. Okay, so bottom of the deck energy, so we can take it as and I've been saying technically bottom of the deck energy, but that was technically just the third card I pulled. So let's just take it as overall energies, okay? I like to be a little bit more on the technical side. I don't want to like confuse everyone or anyone. So, and I just basically I'm stating my intention, right? So I keep hearing myself say bottom of the deck, and I'm like, well, technically I didn't look at the bottom after pulling each 2 cards. I literally just popped 3. So anyway, but let's turn over the other cards that you have here. Okay, so the energy changed here as soon as right? So it's almost like, look at the, just take a look at the card here. You do have 1 major arcana coming in, the Hierophant, okay? So you see that, and now take a look here. And you tell me what kind of what kind of energies you're picking up on here with the imagery and symbolism with the Ace of Swords and the Hierophant. Dang, guys, like I'm not, we could go a couple different ways here, but it's like, I almost feel like, there's a possibility that there's something that, again, you're in this period of kind of feeling like maybe a little bit bored, right, if you will, or like perhaps the energies, it's just like, they need to be alchemized, or they are new, in a way alchemized, but via new experiences. Okay, so I feel like you need to just kind of maybe get out of the house for a little bit. But at the same time, I feel like, it's almost like someone, okay, that was cool, because as soon as I saw it more like from a distance, it's almost like someone sitting there, right? Like imagine me, like if I'm just like kind of sitting on the couch and I'm just like, filing my nails, just kind of watching you, to see what you're doing around the house, like sitting by like in the living room so I can like watch the front door and like kind of, you know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe, almost like walking on eggshells possibly. But let's take a look though here. Again, I pulled this card in, your first card intentionally for, messages for emotional healing, okay? And then the second card, which is the Hierophant, is coming in for strengthening your inner knowing, okay? So we're going to start with the Ace of Swords. Aces herald new beginnings, and in this case, the spawning of new ideas, words, thoughts, plans, like I said, new, and as I said in the beginning of this reading, with the new moon in Cancer upon us, this is all really, guys, about just seeking new experiences, new energies at this time. And I feel like these new energies, these new experiences, these new opportunities, these new friendships, these new, whatever it is, the fact that it's new, even this new route to the grocery store, this new route that you take to walk to the coffee shop, maybe this new park that you visit, or something that to that effect is going to allow the alchemization of the energies. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's going to allow you to see. I mean, I don't know really how else to say it at this time, but again, message for emotional healing. You have tremendous mental clarity, okay, independence and power, and somehow you manage to be big-hearted on top of it all as well. Just be careful how you wield your sword at this time. Getting your claws trimmed is good for you, whether you like it or not. So be open to new ideas, feelings, and opinions, and they'll find you. And I'm gonna all right, so again, so that was spirit guide messages for your emotional healing. And that's that's all I can say. Again, be open to new ideas, feelings, opinions, and they'll find you. In some way, they'll find you. It's so profound, because who's they? Like, you know what I mean? Like that could be, wow. I mean, what initially I picked up on was like just knowing that what you want, or knowing that what you know to be yours will be yours. Your people will find you, your person will find you, your purpose will find you, right? Love will find you, success, whatever, abundance, whatever, because abundance is abundance, right? And that's the beauty of co-creation, is getting to enjoy in the delicacies of all different types of abundance, So very nice, guys. All right, so we're going to move on then right over to the Hierophant, again, Major Arcana number 5. Now, it is coming in, again, spirit guide messages for strengthening your inner knowing. And I've been fixated on how, and I'll just let you look here in the upright, but the way that, the cat here in this card, which actually, just funny enough, he looks almost identical to a cat that, that we have back in Houston. His name is Milo. Literally the exact same eye color, bright green eyes, and this exact, solid gray color coat. But it is reminding me of the energy of one of my first cats that I ever got, like, as living on my own type of thing, not the family cat to say. And he was just, he's to this day he's not with me here in the home, but he's such a scaredy cat. He'd get himself all in, just always in this crazy energies, and I forgot, but now that I'm looking, remember that he would get to that point where he'd have one eye that would just be squinting. And, I'm just like, pobrecito. I would feel for him, because it's like, I just wish he knew that, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you're protected here. Like, you're not going to die under my watch. But it's like, he was just, this was just him. So, now, again, this is coming in the reverse, but let's take a look at the messages. Now, again, messages to strengthen your inner knowing. The card represents those who choose their own path. House cats aren't pack animals, and neither are you. So damn, that's pretty straightforward, guys. Okay, strengthening your inner knowing. Choose your own path. Don't follow the pack. Okay. I mean, yeah, that was very powerful. Because the Hierophant can, it can essentially represent conformity. But what, are you conforming to you, yourself, and I, type of thing? Or are you conforming to the dream of the planet, to society's measures of success? Okay. All right, everyone. So I hope you found those messages useful, and we're going to move over now to those of you who resonated and chose the Justice card. Okay. Major Arcana number 11. Decisions, balance. This can even speak to legal affairs. Okay, so again, just kind of overall messages here. And because there's something here, right? And I mean, when you really look at the imagery, if we just so happened upon, okay, we're walking down the road, we enter, we just find a little spot to get a little bit of food and drink before we, head back out on our travels. We walk into this. We don't know what's going on, what the situation is in the background, right? But this guy's getting bit, or they're getting nipped at here. Well, who, you know what I mean? Like, who started it? Because that could then, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that that will justify anything, but at the same time, the first thing you're going to think is, well, who's the bad guy here, right? It's is the cat in the right? Is the cat in the wrong? Is this guy in the right, or is this guy in the wrong? So, again, Major Arcana number 11, so that could be, just any variation of 1, 11, 111, 1111. So any of that could be of importance here to you, or really resonate with you. And normally, but maybe some of you are born in November. But this card reminds us that actions have consequences and causes followed by effect. Okay, so at the end of the day, fairness will prevail, so play by the rules. I mean, that's no surprise that this card is associated with, the cautious, balanced, measured Libra, sign of Libra. All right. So moving on then to, another Major Arcana, number 8, Strength. Now, this is coming in, messages from your spirit guides, okay, for emotional healing. So the strength is coming in. So that's it, obviously right off the bat. To me, it's instantly that there's something that definitely needs to be, it's like your loving guides want you to be aware of this fact, and maybe you feel like you're in this energy of the Strength card, like everything's okay right now, things are going great, but maybe there is something to look at here. Okay, so take that if it resonates. The card's a reminder to draw on the strength. I feel like it's like your guides are just reminding you. It's like, I feel like you just forget how strong you are. But the message here is a reminder to draw on the strength that you may forget you have. Even house cats can roar. And you might be in a period where you feel like you're a little bit tired at this time. I'm not gonna lie, even I've been feeling it. Now, I haven't necessarily heard anything to that in readings that I've been watching or anywhere on YouTube, but I've just definitely been physically really just like, taking a break for a little bit. Now, that's not to say I've picked up a new type, new work that I do twice a week, and that can be pretty, it's just you're like pretty much hustling in the kitchen, and I don't want it to sound crazy, so I picked up a job as essentially a food, as a food, we'll call it a food stylist, but so I love it. It's just it's a different kind of work. So at the end of the day, I'm tired, and I think I need a little bit of a break, but I haven't been getting to my workout so much as I was, so I feel like, I felt it in the energy where I just feel a little bit like, I'm trying to like get, just kind of find, and integrate this new work or this new energy essentially into my routine. So that's all it is. So I didn't mean to go too off course there, but it's just something, that like, even if you feel really tired right now, don't feel like you've lost your strength or all of a sudden like, okay, like I've gone off, like I went way too off course, it's over or something, so I just feel like I needed to say that. And are we going to get another major arcana or not? I'll let you guys look first, but this card is coming in as messages again from your spirit guides for strengthening your inner knowing. Okay, strengthening your inner knowing. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Interesting, because the Queen of Pentacles for me is, even though, and as I say that, and no, my apologies, I was thinking of a different queen here, so I sometimes do that. Okay, so strengthening your inner knowing. And and you can just kind of see in the imagery here, it's like how the cat is, she's peering down into this like maze or toy of maze, really looking at like all the different possibilities. But there's something about strengthening your inner knowing. The Queen of Pentacles is coming in the reverse. Overall, the Queen is a very generous energy. So perhaps there's a very simple call here to, and of course just take it as it resonates, but almost something for me, it was like somehow just sharing your generosity in terms of wisdom. Again, Queen of Pentacles is just really speaking to generosity. Upside down, the Queen isn't happy. All her good traits seem reversed, so she becomes essentially self-serving and perhaps worst of all, unsuccessful. So it could feel like right now you're in a period where the rewards are not materializing. And so messages for you to strengthen your inner knowing, guys. It's as simple as it's time to start taking care of yourself. And also it's time to change your perspective. Again, I feel like I was trying to kind of touch with that with the Strength card, and also the Justice, because remember, it's like you walk into this, like, we'll just call it a bar. You walk into a bar, you don't know like who started it, like who's the bad one. Like if you're walking into something crazy, like wait, who do you gotta like first throw a punch at if someone's coming at you or something, so there's something here about perspective. So I don't know, maybe you've been holding back somehow. This is going to resonate differently to everyone, right? Like, how do you feel like you could be more generous in your day-to-day? It could even be, guys, like I'm even holding again, holding yourself back, holding your just, I don't know, it's like, you know what I mean, holding your inner roar, as we were talking about earlier, back, in and of itself can be, I've heard it, it's like keeping your medicine from others. And I want to credit, I believe, Victor Otto, if you guys are familiar with, with the conscious business, program that he has going on there. I had the opportunity to attend a couple sessions and meetings and things of that nature, and that one really stuck with me. Is that like even it's like keeping your light, or keeping your voice, or keeping whatever it is that you want to do. You're keeping it at bay right now, but that that in a way could be almost a disservice to others who could benefit from perhaps you posting a video talking about it, some guidance or some wisdom that you feel may want to come off your chest. And that's just again, this can kind of really resonate and look differently, guys. For all of you, but again, this will really resonate if, again, you feel like you're in a period of just like, again, where you feel unsuccessful and you feel like the rewards are not materializing. So start taking care of yourself, change your perspective, and things will get better, okay? And I hope that makes sense for those of you that needed to hear those messages. And last but not least, we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands has been coming out, interesting, because I was just talking about kind of a period of feeling exhausted, and even myself, like I've not like, I don't know if it necessarily has to do with burdens, but nonetheless the energies, right? Because it's like, at least comparing this to the traditional Rider-Waite Ten of Wands, this cat's not necessarily having to hold on to all the balls and in fear of like them going all over the place, and he has to pick them back up. Like, no, he's just chilling, actually resting quite nicely, what looks like on a soft rug, probably air conditioned condo, and he's got, he's got all this energy, if you will, all this creativity here. But anyway, I guess where I was going with that is I still feel like there's a little bit here in terms of feeling a little bit tired. It's like the card says, which it's like it truly does feel, it's like actually the fight has been won. That's why I'm saying, like, the fight had, like, you're not out, like I said in the traditional Rider-Waite card, he's out in the freaking fields, like, the castle is ahead of him, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the castle's depicted, what probably looks like a 10-15 mile walk to get back to the castle, but this cat's already chilling, like I said, in the AC. So the fight has been won, the spoils are yours, but you're weary from the battle. Very well said, very well said. So I'm saying, guys, I'm really enjoying this deck, Cat Tarot deck. So if you guys have a calling for it, I don't know how to explain my connection with the deck, but it feels very, very sweet and innocent. But also it's like, it's so very intuitive, So, again, this is just overall kind of general messages for this pile, but understandably, you're exhausted. Look at all the goodies you've acquired. It may be the home stretch, but it's not time to let your guard down. So don't take on more than your fair share of burden and responsibility. Believe it or not, you have even more treats coming your way, but it'll take a little longer. Dang, even I got excited, guys, because I literally was just saying, like, whenever I said it in this video, but even I literally have been taking it, because I've been going, right? Like, even when I was talking about working out, I work out typically 5 to 6 days a week, and consistently. I'm talking like for the past few years. it's a part of my discipline and routine now. Like it's not even discipline, because it's like you discipline yourself, and then once it becomes a part of your routine, then it's just like it becomes a part of you, and you enjoy it. You enjoy spending time in the energy of whatever it is, right, that brings you satisfaction and a feeling of just, I don't know. Anyway, but so I got excited there though, because again, I for those of you that are resonating with this energy of just kind of feeling like, yeah, things are actually going really great, or act like, because you were in a period of, you know what I mean, like, right, you were in a fight, but because, to reiterate, the fight has been won, and now the spoils are yours. That's because I'm telling you, a lot of us in the collective elevated. We're walking into the new earth, leaving, you know, it was a battle, guys, and so yes, we may still be feeling weary from it. So let's see how that plays into the first card, which I have pulled as messages from your spirit guides in terms of for emotional healing. Okay, for your emotional healing. And we have the 5 of Swords in the reverse. So really, that's really good, because yes, it's definitely going to behoove you, and I do see you guys doing that, where you guys are really letting go. It's like you're not, you know what I mean? You're not looking behind you. You're really kind of letting it go again with this 10 of Wands. Like, you do reflect on it, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you're remembering the battle, but you're definitely have already moved on, and you're just it's like, I feel like you're growing wiser day to day. So again, messages for emotional healing. There is an end to your clashes ahead, but there may be a lot of mess to still have to clear away. So, you know, take this as it resonates, but ignoring others or each other doesn't resolve anything. There's arrogance, volatility, shame, and remorse to be waded through. And I really just picked up on family possibly there, parental, sibling, something of the sort. Maybe even a little biting and clawing at those around you. But compromise is everything, and right now there's this is the tipping point. All right, sorry guys, I'd heard a thump outside. I don't know if you guys heard that, but well, anyway, I'm not quite sure where I was going with that, but yeah, essentially there's something about a tipping point, okay? So if that resonates with you guys, things are either going to get much better or much worse, and the results are up to you, right? The results, essentially, it's like you have... So there's something to do here with this emotional healing, right? So it's like, leave all, like this, as I was just talking about moving into the new earth, we need to shed this arrogance, volatility, shame, and remorse. And, you know, of course I was not planning on sharing this today, but I'll go ahead and share it with you guys. And I'll make it quick. I have not spoken to one of my parents since 2013, okay? I had communicated once in the meantime via email, but at some point I lost access to the email, and I didn't have the energy to necessarily also reply back. So I finally last week sent a message to try and essentially restore contact. Now, when I do tell you that that's not necessarily just like, it's, you know what I mean, it's not like the easiest thing in the world to do. There's a little bit of there's resistance there, whether little or not, I wasn't necessarily gauging. It's just like, I could sense the resistance. I know there's resistance. So that, of course, that's just me essentially experimenting, and, you know what I mean? And it's like knowing that, like, knowing what it is that's resonating for me in terms of, you know what, like I'm gonna do this, you know. And so anyway, so whatever that is, I was just picking up on familial, but it could be with a, you know, in a love situation, something to do in the career place, or amongst, you know, if you have like business partners, you know, right? Take it as it resonates, guys. It could be in a group of, you know, if you're in a, you know, if you do ballet, you know, like a group of ballerinas. I don't know why that came to mind. I mean, but perhaps one of you guys are, you know, listening to this reading. So just remember, guys, there's something about a tipping point here, and these are messages. Okay, this is very impactful. This isn't just like messages I'm just like just from like willy-nilly. Like, these are tailored, you know what I mean? You intuitively chose your pile, and nonetheless, whether, you know, you sat here for all of them or not, whatever the case, you know, these messages are from, you know, from spirit, okay? Tailored to you for your emotional healing. So this is very powerful stuff going on here in the Five of Swords, okay? So I'll let you look at the imagery. All right. This is also very powerful, and I'm going to let you sit on this. Surrender does not mean relax. It means defeat and loss. So there's something that needs to be defeated here. And there's something, I feel like when it says "and loss," like there's something that needs to be let go of here as well. Okay, and when you talk about your emotional healing is gonna like skyrocket after whatever it is that's going on here. And I'm not gonna lie, I want to pull an additional card just to see if we can get, just to see what else comes out here for. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles on its side, which we did just pull not too long ago. But I feel like there's something here about, you know, it's like you can choose almost like whatever path or whatever timeline or whatever wave of energy you want to jump on at this time. Like, it's almost like the choice is yours in a way. Because, guys, you guys are insane. Like, you guys obviously have, you know, you're part of the collective. You know, as the Queen of Pentacles, you have such beautiful energy. But, you know, it's like you're kind of fighting through that right now, or at a standstill in some way. And you feel, worst of all, unsuccessful. So, it's something about changing your perspective here, and things will get better. So I wish you guys all a lot of luck. Ultimately, remember that you guys are safe. I'm going to eventually have to do a video on that here soon for one of our Friday readings. But truly, guys, we really are safe. Even if people have, you know, said whatever they want to say, or try to, like, threaten you in some type of way, like, truly, when you know you're safe, you're safe. So know that you're safe, okay? I really, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I want to get across to you that you are safe. So I hope I could do that, or that I have done that. Four of Cups in the reverse. This is coming in, messages from your spirit guides to strengthen your inner knowing. You're looking in the cups, you know, even going back to the Queen of Pentacles, right? There's a lot of looking, like looking in almost, right? And even like you know, like testing the waters, or like kind of, you know, how cats like stick their paws and stuff. So let's take a look here at the Four of Cups to strengthen your inner knowing. So I don't know what this word means. I'm still familiarizing myself with the Cat Tarot deck. I'm going to assume it's a type of maybe fish or food. Oh no, I'm totally wrong. Ennui. A feeling of listlessness and dissatisfaction arising from a lack of occupation or excitement. So, example, he succumbed to ennui and despair. I think it's ennui.
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 He succumbed to ennui and despair. Okay. Somehow this is, you know, this is coming in for messages to strengthen your inner knowing, but this speaks to more dissatisfaction and more ennui. No need to knock over the food bowl, though. This limbo is merely a temporary state, and that's beautifully said, guys. It's you know, back to the Ten of Wands, bottom of the deck, or excuse me, yeah, I did it again. I don't know why I had put it over here. Not bottom of the deck, but overall energy here, you know, for this pile. So there is something here, again, I lost my statement. Okay, about being in limbo. But think creatively, okay? So at this time, again, to strengthen your inner knowing, new tactics and approaches will bring more options. So if you feel stuck, oh, we are raining outside. How exciting. I wasn't sure. I had kind of felt it earlier. Yeah, that's always fun. I love rain. So since we're almost done, I'll leave it open for a few minutes while we wrap up here. So if you're feeling stuck, just remember, new tactics, new approaches, guys. And as I said literally at the beginning of the reading, overall it is about new. Okay, so we're going to have this new moon in Cancer. And again, it's really, it's really encouraging, I should say, our energies. Or not even, yeah, it's almost like trying to guide our energies into, you know, the new moon is all about emotional new beginnings, nurturing your intuition, and creating a safe inner space. So I hope that these messages were of use to you, and I will see everyone in the next reading.